Hello. Just before the lockdown started, I did some supply teaching at a school in Chester Street. And when the children found out that I was a magician, they asked if there was something that they could do that would perhaps help me in my magic. So I suggested that they, as a class project, make a pack of cards for me. So I provided the cards, just a blank deck in a blank box, but they actually decorated the box and they decorated all of the cards. We can see that this card, yes, is a fair approximation of the bicycle back. Now, I was quite surprised because the children they'd not really had a lot of experience with cards. And so they didn't know the names of the suits, for instance, and they needed quite a bit of help to, that's a nice one, quite a bit of help to make the backs and make the fronts. This one, if you look at it carefully, is made up of fingerprints. He's covered his finger with blue paint and then stuck it over. So they did the backs and then they did the fronts. This is the Four of Diamonds. Unusual, nice house. She wanted to draw a house. So the value of the card came second. That's rather nice. That's the Queen of Clubs. Very happily but aggressive. This is the Jack, because it says so in the dog, and it's the Jack. Oh, he's had to write spades in red so that we know what it is. Oh, Nine of Diamonds, that's a very clear one. The Seven of Spades, yes. And you can see that each one that they did was very different. And, well, that's rather nice. Very different. Very individual. And I was very, very happy with what they did. But of course, when they presented the cards, she's rather cross-eyed. He's rather cross-eyed. I think he's the king. King of Diamonds. When they presented the cards, they did ask if I could do a magic trick with them. And I said, doing a magic trick with these cards is a little difficult because, of course, with something like this, you have to look very carefully to see what the card is. If you'll allow me to just change the card somewhat, then I'll be able to do a magic trick. I will do telepathy. So the children agreed. I did a magic flick. And then I changed the cards so that I could do the magic trick. And you'll see that all the cards now are different. It's actually very hard to riffle the cards for you so that you can see. You couldn't see the backs, but yeah. The backs are all there. Okay. So I explained to them what I would do. Now remember that the children are not 100% sure on the names of the suits and the value of the cards. So the way I did this was I said, now look, I'm going to riffle through the deck like this. And you're going to shout stop. And then I will stop. And that's what I'd like you to do. I want you to shout stop at home, but telepathically. I'm going to read your minds. Now, because we're doing this over the internet, you're going to have to be very, very noisy in your telepathic shouting. So as I riffle through, I want you to shout stop. Don't worry, because I'm not looking at the camera. See, the camera's over there and I'm looking this way. So I can't see, there's no possible way of me cheating. Right, get ready. No, you've got to send the telepathic message while I'm riffling. Okay. Yeah, I got it, but it was too late then. Right, one more time. Third time lucky here. Send the telepathic message. That's it. Well done. Now you should be able to see the card. Can you? Now look, make sure if you know it's a black or a red card. Try and remember the shape of the suit. What else? Yeah, remember, is it a spot card or a picture card? And if it's a picture card, remember which picture it is. Okay. So, you've chosen the cards. Now I have to read your minds. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about it. Remember that these were children I was doing it with, so I found an easy way to read people's minds. I'm going to split it all down, split the value of the card down into its elements. So first of all, I'd like you to think, is it a red card or a black card? A red card or a black card? Black. It's a black card. Okay. So I think you've sent me messages to say it's a black card. Now we've got to divide it into the two suits. Is it a spade or a club? Let's have a look. Spades, clubs, spades, clubs, spades. It's a club. Yes, I got that clear as a bell. Okay. Now, is it a spot card? Does it have numbers on it? Or is it a picture card? Let's have a look. Spot, picture, spot, picture, spot, picture, spot. It's a spot card. Excellent. And finally, we will need to know, is it a low spot card or a high spot card? So let's go. Low spot card, high spot card, low spot card, high spot card. It's a low spot card. And in fact, it's not finally, because now we've got to work out which spot card it is. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Send me the messages. It's got to be louder. Go on, try a bit harder. Oh, my finger doesn't want to move from that. That's 4. So we think it is the 4 of clubs. Okay. So after I'd received my huge round of applause, because the children were so impressed with my mind reading, they suddenly realised that now all I had was a bicycle deck of cards. And they said, is it possible that you have changed the bicycle deck of cards and you'll never have our deck of cards back? And I said, it's okay, look. Whenever I want to see or show off your deck of cards, all I have to do is a magic click. And then, when I do that, I get your deck of cards back. And we can see that with your deck of cards, they're all back, got the backs and the fronts, and we're back to where we started. Thank you very much.